Brilliant. This is great. Well, this is extra cool interview in a way because we've never had an opportunity to actually talk in person or even on the phone before. This is the first time we're meeting each other, right?
It is, yeah. It's really great to meet you. Although I feel like I've missed out on all that hilarity that was going on before.
Yeah, we were learning. Have you ever heard of laughter yoga?
I went to a mindfulness event a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure that I had a similar session with the same guy. Is it Joe
Joe, yeah,
something?
Joe Hawara. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We had a short session then. It was very good.
Oh, wow, wow. Well, just to share the story with others, I've been on Twitter for a while and I've been following Gareth for a while, and I always loved the quotes that he's been sharing. And so then we started interacting with each other and chatting to each other. And I shared one of our community books that came out, Mindfulness for Challenging Times, and a couple of other books. And you started to share some quotes from that, which was really nice of you. And then I thought, wow, this is just so good. You've got an amazing community called Everyday Mindfulness. Is that right?
Yes.
And so I thought, wow, it'd be wonderful to hear from Gareth himself to find out, how he's become so passionate about mindfulness. And I've been on Twitter for quite a long time, and you've been consistently sharing amazing resources for years, actually, many years. So I just thought, oh, maybe you could share something on our day today. And you said, like, why don't we just meet for the first time today and perhaps share your story in that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, do you want to share a little bit about how you came across mindfulness in the first place and how it's helped you with your personal challenges?
Okay, I'll go right to the very beginning then. I was diagnosed with MS about 11 years ago or so. And that was obviously a very, very bad time for me. I was completely lost and I didn't know what to do. And my mum was trying to get me out of this rut that I was in. And she gave me a book which just kind of opened a little window. Oh, come on, book yourself up. You could do something. And I started reading and trying to do something about the MS diagnosis. And I finally stumbled across an Australian doctor who recommended a series of lifestyle changes to try and do your best with the condition. He recommended lots of different things, actually. Diet, exercise, but critically, one of the things that you recommended was meditation. But I knew absolutely nothing about meditation at all. So, luckily, this was the critical point. I went away and I picked up a book by John Kabat-Zinn called Wherever You Go, There You Are. And the book was something of a revelation to me, actually. As I was reading, I was thinking, wow, this makes so much sense. And he obviously recommends a practice, meditation, to go along with it. And I started meditating, but as you probably know, the benefits accrue quite slowly. And I kept going, and over time, I started to notice how my life was improving. I remember one day in particular, this was at a time when my mobility was starting to suffer. And we lived in a house with really steep steps. and I was really steep stairs, and I was starting to struggle sometimes to get up the stairs. And I remember one day I was struggling to get up the stairs, and I noticed that if I just brought it back just to one step at a time, one breath at a time, even, just rather than thinking about how I'm never going to make it up the stairs and so on, if I could just bring it back to one moment at a time, it made climbing the stairs so much easier. And as I began to see the power of mindfulness, I then doubled down on it, started meditating even more, and the rest is history. At that time, I was worried. I was thinking, I need a job where I'm not gonna need the use of my legs, because I knew the direction that MS was going. So I thought, and I had a little bit of a few skills in IT. So I thought maybe I'll get into website design. And I thought, oh, I'll do a website about mindfulness. That
Yeah.
see how that goes.
How
So I
long ago was
start
that?
that. What did you say? Sorry.
How long ago was it that you started that website?
The website was 2012, I think.
Okay.
And as I started the website, which is the website I've got today, everydaymindfulness.org, I was just trying to get my skills in website design. And I thought, I'll start a Twitter account to go with the website. And I started the Twitter account that you know, and I just started tweeting my observations of mindfulness, and I noticed right from the very beginning, wow, I'm getting lots of retweets for this, and the account just grew and grew and grew, and the rest is history, as they say.
Oh, wow. And so have you been focusing on that all the time, all your spare time? You've been working on the mindfulness?
No, the illness has progressed, and I'm now retired from work, and my physical abilities are starting to become compromised. So at the moment, I just give my time to that website. There are a few of us actually who we maintain the website and publish blogs on the website, and I maintain the Twitter account. If anyone wants to come and help, they're more than welcome.
They can help and volunteer and contribute to. And you've got is there like a community where people chat as well to each other on the website?
We have there's a forum that is attached to the website where anybody is welcome to join and post topics about their practice. There is one guy who's a certified mindfulness teacher. He patrols the forum and helps. I don't get on there as much as I used to because of MS, you know.
Yeah. So just going a little bit back to your story when you first discovered mindfulness, so you read that book. What sort of practices did you do that worked for you? I know it took a bit of time at the beginning, but what kind of meditation practices?
At the beginning, well, I was just doing the things that Kabat-Zinn was recommending. I was doing body scans, mindfulness of breath type stuff. But as time went on, I began to understand the practice more and make the practice more my own and practice in a way that felt more natural to me.
Yeah. And interestingly, you've called it everyday mindfulness. So it's not just about sitting and doing the meditation and then forgetting about it. What does that mean to you, everyday mindfulness?
Everyday Mindfulness was a kind of a play on the word everyday, really, in the fact that you have to practice mindfulness every day. It's important to keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing, but also every day in the fact that it's just normal. It's not about sitting on a meditation cushion with incense burning. Anybody can practice mindfulness. It's just a normal thing for normal people.
Yeah. So what kind of tips would you give for people, let's say if they've got some sort of chronic condition? So with you, you've been working with MS. What would you recommend that they do?
Well, I I never I don't know why, but I never ever really gelled with the body scan. But I know lots and lots of mindfulness teachers who stress to me the importance of it. And with a chronic condition, I would imagine that it is. But however, I've started to lose a lot of sensation in my body, and it makes the body scan really, really difficult for me sometimes. So it's not something I do so often these days, but I would imagine it would be good for many chronic conditions.
Yeah. Okay. So body scan is one that you'd recommend. And then what form of meditation does it take for you? What works for you? What kind of practices?
Oh, now I'm a very big fan of music, and lot of the time I'll put my headphones on, stick an album on, and listen to the album from start to finish,
Wow.
giving every last bit of attention that I can to that music. But I also do choiceless awareness. I do. I've got two small children, and mindfulness is made for parenting, really. And they want to just trying to give them my full attention. It gives me so much more patience. And how else do I practice these days? Mindfulness of eating as well. That's a big one for me. When
How
I
do you manage,
first read
how do
it,
you manage to do that?
yeah, I've always loved my food and eating. And when I first read about mindfulness of eating, I was like, oh wow, I can't wait. This sounds amazing. And then after a while, I still realized I've kind of been doing this a bit my whole life anyway. It's just about tasting the food and listening to the sensations of the body as you are eating, and so on.
That's a powerful one for people, but I know for me, it's very easy for me to go on autopilot and forget about it. So for you, it sounds like you're naturally quite present when you eat.
Yeah. I've always been a big advocate of. I've never been no devices at the table in my house. Put your book down while you're eating, and it's just the food. You and the food. That's it.
That's really good. That's really good. Now, Alexandra's saying, interesting, I've heard of music as a therapy for MS, and it sounds like it is very therapeutic for you. And people don't talk about that so much in the mindfulness world, about the importance of music and really enjoying and being in the moment. Um, can you say a little bit more about it, or maybe give some tips for someone who hasn't done that before?
I'm I I feel like music and mindfulness fit together so perfectly. I'm always surprised that it's not even part of the 8-week course, or not any 8-week course I've ever seen anyway. Um, uh, I, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it isn't, but it's there aren't many people who don't like music. And it seems just such a natural way to practice.
Yeah, yeah. And Emma here is saying, I like the suggestion of listening to the whole album as well. So you just sit down and say, okay, this is like it's almost like you're reading a book or reading a chapter of a book, but you're going through a whole album from start to finish and really enjoying it.
Sometimes it's just only a song. I've always got my phone with me with some music on it, and sometimes I just listen to a song. We don't always have 45 minutes to listen to a whole album, do we?
That's true. That's true. And in terms of the choice of music, is it just music that you like, or do you find that different music has different effects?
Yeah, some music probably lends itself more to meditation. I don't always like to call it meditation. To me, it's just practicing mindfulness.
Yeah.
Yeah, any music that's a bit too intense or emotionally charged can perhaps set you off thinking. I listen to a lot of ambient music. Don't know if you know the style, or classical music.
So ambient music is it like nature sounds?
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
or other sounds,
Yeah.
not just nature sounds.
Okay, so other sounds. Okay, cool. And of course, mindfulness is about connecting with your senses. So sound is obviously a powerful one for you. For
Yeah,
some people, it could be looking at an image of nature or looking at a beautiful painting. And for you, also your senses are quite strong because you like taste and smell through the food as well, I guess.
yeah.
So,
Back in the days when I could walk and I was more independent, I would take myself out into the hills that are near me, and I would just sit on the grass and just watch for a while, just look at what I could see.
oh wow. For like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or
No,
longer.
well, no longer usually.
Longer. Oh wow. So you're just really taking sounds like you're naturally very connected to your senses, actually. I can understand why you're calling it mindfulness rather than meditation, and you call it everyday mindfulness. And your choice of quotes, they're just the whole range of them, so many different ones, but they're all really well thought out. So I just sense that you have a real deep understanding of mindfulness to be able to find those gems from all the different authors that you study and follow.
It's I'm really not a religious person, but I suppose it's kind of like a religion to me.
Is it? What,
It's
mindfulness?
a complete way of life,
Okay.
absolutely.
Wow, wow. Does anybody else have any other questions? I think it was a great opportunity to ask um, Gareth while he's here. Alexandra's saying somatic experiencing and other forms of somatic therapy can also help with MS as well as trauma and difficult emotions. They incorporate some mindfulness. By somatic, I think it's about connecting with the body, but that's not so easy for you. Is there certain parts of the body you are more in touch with and you can connect with, or not?
The upper half of my body is still okay.
Okay, that's good. Cool. Someone's asking what the Twitter handle is. Is it one word, everyday mindfulness?
It's mindful every day.
Oh, mindful every day. I'll share it here. Mindful every day. There we go. Bab says, do you find it helps you cope with the changes of MS and living with the illness through practicing?
Absolutely. Mindful, because I have progressive MS. So the future looms like a spectre in my life. My brain is always throwing up thoughts about how bad it's gonna be, and being able to let those thoughts go is pretty powerful when you're living with this condition. MS, there are a lot of challenging emotions to work through sometimes. A lot of grief, I suppose, for what I've lost and what I'm no longer able to do. Mindfulness helps me process those emotions.
Wow, amazing. Cecile says, thank you. I love mindful music listening, playing, singing. It's very personal. I feel I've been practicing in concerts and on my own. I agree with the religion aspect as well. Emma says, do you have anything particular that you do to bring yourself back to the present when you notice yourself feeling negative or low in mood? I think that's a great question, because so many of us find we've gone off into a train of thoughts and it's hard to be mindful. How do you do that?
It's connecting with the senses again. There's a great grounding exercise. You've probably heard of it, Shamash. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. Just connect with one of your senses and you are instantly back in the present moment.
That's a really good tip. I love that. Yeah. You did well to remember which one goes where as well.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, if you
I
get that
do
wrong,
sometimes forget.
5 things you can smell, that's going to be a bit hard.
Yeah.
That's a real good one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's nice. Barb says, I totally relate to that, living with several complex illnesses. Thank you. I'm wondering if, and I'll read some other questions here as well. I'm guessing there's been all sorts of people that have come into your network or got in touch with you who also have chronic illnesses. Is that the case? And have you found that mindfulness has helped them too?
Yeah. I would recommend, if you go to the website, there are lots and lots of different blogs on there. We've had blogs from people with chronic illnesses and also people who've got mental illness as well, how people help them with anxiety or OCD and things like that. You can search the different blogs on category. Also, go into the forum and people have posted topics about how mindfulness helps them and so on.
Okay. And what about the recent challenge with COVID? Have you found that is there a group around that or anything particular about that in mindfulness that's helped?
There is a blog recently about COVID. It's certainly helped me with sort of the anxiety of COVID.
Yeah, going through that. Wow. So this is really nice. Someone called Katie, I think is your friend. She's saying, I've listened in as I'm a friend of Gareth's and he's amazing. He inspires everyone around him. It is clear mindfulness has massively helped. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that, Katie. The website, let's make sure everyone gets that as well. It's everyday-mindfulness, isn't it?
Yeah, everyday-mindfulness.org.
Okay, cool. And it's got a blog and it's kind of like it's almost like a mini community project, I think. Sounds like a few people are contributing to it.
Yeah, there are 4 or 5 of us who all contribute in different ways.
Yeah, that's super cool. Wonderful. Let's see what else people are saying. Monica's saying, amazing to see you and listening to you, for your strength in the battle. You should be amazingly proud of your life and testimony. That's really, really nice. Anastasia is asking, does it help with the bipolar mood swings? Do you know anything about that?
Again, I think there might be a blog from a few years ago from someone who had bipolar. My personal view is that mindfulness can help with anything.
Yeah.
But Some issues are very deep-seated and take a lot of work and an experienced teacher and are very difficult to work through. But I believe it has something to offer everyone.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, it just needs to be practiced in a different way with different people. And you've
Yeah,
described it beautifully well. Like, for example, for you, the body scan meditation doesn't work for you, but connecting with your senses and music, and also I'm guessing the sharing on Twitter. It's something you're being really kind and generous on Twitter and also in your blog, and you get something out from that too as well through that process of volunteering and contributing as well. So it's kind of finding the things that are right for you, I think. And
yeah, it's very good to give, and you obviously give a lot as well, Shamash. So I suppose
thank,
you understand
thank,
that.
yeah, no. So it's a privilege, and it feels good to give. So it's nice to have that opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Um, Liv says, very inspiring, Gareth. Thank you for sharing. Love the Jack Vetriano painting in the back.
Well, that is, there we go. So can get a better view of it. Yeah, Jack
Liv,
Vetriano.
oh wow, there you go.
That's amazing how she recognized it from just the legs of those.
Yeah, it's my friend Liv
Oh, it's
actually.
he. Sorry.
He's a bit of an artist, so a
Right.
lot of an artist. So he's good at that, and so that's why he spotted it. Brilliant. Lots of people are sending lots of positive vibes here. You're very amazing and inspiring, says Christine. Someone saying absolutely amazing to listen to you and how you manage your illness and not let it manage you. Very inspiring and insightful, Gareth. I think is this one of the first times you shared your story? Because you said it wasn't on your website either.
No, it's not. I'm just not the kind of person who to
Yeah,
start talking about myself.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not shy about it. I
yeah,
happily come on here and talk about it
yeah,
wherever it helps. Mindfulness.
yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you did because it's really inspired others here, as has been your Twitter stream over the years for me. I found it very fantastic, and I'm learning more about your blog now and all the people that contribute to it. So hopefully there may be a few more. Lots of congratulations here coming through on the chat. So thank you. Is there anything else you want to share?
I would just add to that as well. If there is anybody who wants to tell a story about mindfulness in any way, we have a blog editor who is a very experienced writer, and he is happy to work with anyone to get a story out there.
Wow, that's great. We love stories, and I think stories about mindfulness is great because it inspires people to be mindful. So that's a great offer there. Check out everyday-mindfulness.org or mindful everyday on Twitter. I'll share the links when I email everyone at the end so you can check it out. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been awesome, really inspiring.
It's been a privilege, Shamash. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, Gareth. Wonderful. Wow, that was so good.